Greg Study on Soccer. I'm here with Franck the King Tayou. This is a brand new season coming forward. You had an interesting offseason playing some futsal. Talk a little bit about that first.
Yeah, I was fortunate to play with the futsal national team. Went to a few camps, domestics, and we went overseas in Croatia. And the coaching staff there were amazing. We have an incredible group of talent, and to be able to go out there and win was very special, but also very inspiring. So I'm hoping to bring some of that luck and some of that experience back with our team and give us the best chance possible to compete, but also to achieve our goal, which is ultimately winning a championship.
So, futsal is not a sport here in the United States that has a whole lot of following.
Right.
Having the United States, having you guys go overseas and take on some of the top teams in futsal internationally and walk away with the championship of that tournament was outstanding.
It was. And to be honest, that was a testament to the coaching staff. I thought Coach Dusan, Coach Pablo, and Coach Otto did a very good job preparing us. Those guys are detail-minded, and so they see everything. And for us, it took a lot of focus, a lot of commitment, but also preparation, which they were willing to do. They put in the extra work, much as the players did, the extra focus. We went out there with a goal, and it was very obvious in the way we played and the way we approached every game, whether it was the two first friendly games prior to the competition itself. It was just a masterclass on preparation, culture, but also winning mentality. So I was very, very fortunate to be part of that.
So let's talk about this coming MASL season.
Right.
You've got a new brand.
Mm-hmm.
What I've been talking about with a lot of the guys today is that although it's a new brand, it's not a new team.
No.
I mean, you have a lot of the same core players are there.
Right.
You're bringing in some new blood, and there's a lot of positive talk going on around this room today about what's coming forward with the Empire Strykers. What do you think about this next season?
I think that in life you have to sort of learn and grow, right? That's the common theme for many people nowadays. And I think that's what we're trying to do. Whether it was the year prior to the COVID year, that, where we started slow and we kind of picked it up towards at some point in the season, or it was the COVID year where we ended in the final, or last year where we didn't even make playoffs.
All right.
I think all those sort of prepared us for what's to come. I feel like mentally and eventually physically we're gonna get to where we need to get to be a competitive team. At the end of the day, every team that comes in, they want to win.
That's right.
And our league is growing so much. Credit to
Keith
Tozer and his team and all the owners for the commitment to growing the sport. And with growth come challenges, right? So, there's no easy games anymore.
No.
A few years ago, there was teams where you knew you could you had the win guaranteed, right? Some team would surprise you at the end of the day, but this time around, every game is a battle.
Right.
If the Strykers come out winning 10-5, it wasn't an easy game.
That's right.
They had to establish their dominance from the get-go in order to get that result, much like the Tropics or the Blast. So, again, exciting time for the league. I'm very, very excited to be part of this. But also exciting time for our teams, the rebranding, you know what I'm saying? We're starting fresh. We are the underdogs now, which is always a good spot to start, to be in, and the dark horse. So we'll see what happens. I'm confident in what we've done so far to get our team ready. And I'm sure other teams are doing the same thing now. Let's get on the field and let's battle it out.
So you've spent a few years south of the border playing for Sonora and Monterey.
Right.
And now we have Monterey coming back, and of course Chihuahua's coming back again.
Mm-hmm.
They were a powerhouse last season.
Mm-hmm.
Talk a little bit about your insight about the team south of the border, because you know those players, you know that culture, you know what's going on, you've been there.
Well, if you look at the way Chihuahua started the season, they didn't have Jaime Borrego. As soon as he stepped in, he's familiar with the league. He brought in a couple of key players, and they turned it around. At the start, they didn't look like a championship team. They didn't even look like a playoff team.
No.
By the end, they made it and we didn't.
I know.
I think his track record speaks for itself. He's been in 3 finals now. And he's going to do what he does. He's going to get his team prepared. They're going to be very, very fit. They're going to be very technical. And they're going to get scrappy when they need to be. They're going to find ways to get results. It's all a matter of understanding how to play there. And if you can go there and get a few wins and not let them establish the home court dominance, then you give yourself a chance in the playoff.
Right.
When it comes to Monterey, Coach Mariano is someone I worked with when I was in Monterey before he got let go. I'm glad to see him back in the league. He's a tactician, right? So he's going to get his team prepared physically, but he's also tactically. They're going to know how to manage game. He doesn't care if he wins 1-0 or 2-1. He wants to win the game, and he wants to do it not necessarily by going out there and blowing teams out, right? But mainly playing the way he wants to play. Right. So that's what's going to happen. Those teams are going to be very competitive teams. Obviously, now that we have two teams, they have to split, the Mexican team have to split the talent. When there was only one, they were all packed in one team, so it make it very difficult.
Right.
So we'll see how they handle that
That's a
battle.
good point.
They handle that battle down there. Again, you've got teams like the Strykers that are going to go there and give them a game, right? And hopefully we can get to that level. You got the Baltimore Blast. I don't know if the Tropics been down to Mexico, but it's a different environment. Anybody who's been there, anybody who played there, it's a different game.
Yeah.
And so you have to be mainly on a certain level to be able to go out there and not only deal with the pressure, but also just deal with adversity that comes with playing outside of your country. It's literally U.S. versus Mexico.
Yeah. So, well, especially from the Mexican standpoint.
Exactly.
The Mexican players actually look at it that way, don't they?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's and they take it, and you can tell the way they compete. They take it very, very serious, right?
Right.
And it doesn't drop when they play another Mexican team. Now there's a little bit of an ego. There's a little bit of just pride that comes into it. It's even tougher. So, like I said, I'm super excited. I know that Geraldo is a great GM. He's gonna assemble the team that's gonna come in and win. Right. Those guys in Monterey, they will never come back in the league if they didn't think they could put a team that would compete. So you're gonna get the best out of those guys. Sonora is gonna be great, and there's other teams around the league. Mesquite just came back in. They signed
exactly.
They signed a bunch of quality talent. So like I said, it's gonna be interesting.
Well, Frank, thank you so much for giving the time to me today.
Absolutely, thank you.
It's just a pleasure to talk to you every time, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You and I get along really well, and it's a really good time to talk together.
Thank you so much.
Go forward with the Empire Strykers. We have high hopes within the league that this team is just going to be another one of those powerhouse teams that comes out of the gates,
right?
And doing it right with your leadership. And again, thank you so much for giving me your time today.
Thank you for being here, and thank you for taking the time to spend this afternoon with us. And looking forward to seeing you and having more of these conversations.
All right, thanks, Frank.
Thank you.
All right.